Listener comments. I thought it was important for me to show you what listeners are saying. The listeners are the customers, right? So it's important to hear what they're saying about the product that Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz are giving us, all right? I also want to show you that I'm not the only one who feels this way about Mr. Song's voice and Dr. Taylor and Mr. Song's musicality, all right? So this is what fans are saying and what regular listeners like me are saying about the music, all right? So the first comment says, I took this from everywhere on the internet. So Reddit posts about discussions about Mr. Songz from the actual song comments on YouTube too, right? So this one says, his mixtape discography is arguably the best among R&B artists. The next one says, exactly. Let Me Hold That Beat and Anticipation 2 is his best body of work. What does this tell us? That their music is well appreciated. It tells us there is a demand for music that comes from the mixtapes. Okay? I talked about Anticipation 2 expansively in my previous videos, right? With Let Me Hold That Beat, the way he uses words and makes them rhyme and sort of does the hip-hop thing with the singing is so unique to him. And we need this again so much. We need this again. I think almost every song on Let Me Hold That Beat had a kind of a story that we could actually follow. And a lot of it was relatable to us at the bottom because you could hear the hunger in his voice, right? You could hear that thing of ambition. I think it was the Runaway cover where he said, for the longest time, I've been wanting my shine on a song. It was just gorgeous and you could feel the ambition, right? The Paper Planes cover was also really fun. And you know I love Rocking That Thing cover because he showed off his voice on that song. Let Me Hold That Beat. His musicality is so great and complex and magnificent that he literally holds every beat. He literally holds every beat. But he sings it in the way he wants to sing it. So he can't imitate because he's an innovator and he's original. Right? So Let Me Hold That Beat. We all love that. The next one. He and Dr. Taylor made an R&B classic with I Gotta Make It. We love I Gotta Make It. I told you. We're from the bottom, okay? That's our anthem. The next comment. He's one hell of a singer. His last album, Back Home, brought back the classic R&B sound. Ready and Passion, Pain and Pleasure are classics. I can tell he genuinely wants to sing real old school R&B songs with the yelling and yodeling, but he's forced to try and play the modern R&B game with his label and image. That's why there's so much back and forth with his music. When this man sings about emotions, you can feel it. I cannot speak for anyone and I don't know what the artist wants, right? I can only speak as a fan. But his voice is perfect for old school R&B and soul and blues and jazz. His musicality is so great that he can go between genres easily, and he can even rap for us. What we can notice from this is that there is a demand for him to actually use his voice to sing for us. We will never find a voice like this again in our lifetime. And do you see that people notice that? Do you see that? Okay. The comment also said, when he sings about emotions, you feel it. This is one of the many advantages Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz has over AI music, artificial intelligence, right? This is the advantages they have over artificial intelligence music. AI does not have emotion in its voice when it sings. We'll talk more about it and more concisely later, but to give a little bit of context to what I'm saying now, the AI doesn't speak more than the lyrics because the sounds are too processed. It's not human. So you can't hear beyond what the lyrics are saying on the AI generated songs. Okay? Every element on the music that Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz makes, every element of the song speaks. Every element is saying something, including Mr. Song's voice, which speaks its own language, right? AI is not going to say things the way Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz would say things. Because by now we know the language that Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz use on the songs, and the lingo and the slang that they use, which is specific to them, right? AI cannot replicate that right now. AI also didn't get us as fans from the Strugg life, from the bottom of the world. And the AI is not our role models. The AI is not the examples of motivation and of forging a life against status quo. Okay, so I'm saying AI does not have influence on us personally. Okay. The next comment, it says, I just listened to his whole discography again recently, and some of his new stuff is actually really good. But Ready and PPP are classics. Still listen regularly. The next one says, I was re-listening to his catalog recently and I was like, wow, he really is very talented and gifted. It says, he has a unique way with melody and word play. I like some of his deep cut stuff over his commercial singles. Do you see the demand for music that speaks to people's emotions? The demand for classic R&B and unconventional sounds, melodies that only they can make for us. Okay, the wordplay that they can do. Do you see the demand for that? For beautiful music from them? Do you see that? Okay. With the next comment, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, okay? And I included this because I want you to see something here. I want you to see what the customer is demanding for from them, okay? This is what the customers like and want. And this is what they're asking for, right? Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, okay? Because I have all the solutions, right? Okay. It says, I Gotta Make It is Trey Songz' best album because Trey was singing about different subject matters, like From a Woman's Hand, singing about black fathers absent from their son's life, A Set of Wings, singing about his fallen friend, Just Gotta Make It, singing about getting out the hood and living a better life, and he was also singing about relationships and love. Right? It says, after I Gotta Make It and Trey Day, Trey's music, don't feel bad, okay? Don't feel bad, okay? Trey's music went downhill. It says he started singing all about fornication. I like the old Trey Songz music better because he sings his soul from his heart. I like the old Trey Songz music better because he sings the soul from his heart. Do you see that? It says he sings to people's souls from his heart. Okay. I thought I had no more tears left after the last video. I will not cry. Okay. He sings to people's souls from his heart. This is truly a gift from God because we know how rare and unique this is, right? And that's why I say we will not find this again in our lifetime. We will not find this again in our lifetime, okay? Like, what does the customer want here? What does the customer want here? There is a great demand for heartfelt, emotional music that speaks to people's souls from Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz, right? I think this is especially true. The demand for this is especially true for those of us who know a suffering life. Because we cannot get beauty from the outside. We can only feel beauty in the soul, right? Because it's Strugg life and there's no hope outside. There's hope in the soul and in the music when he actually sings, right? There is great demand for music that speaks to us internally, which I've shown you that Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz can give us and speak to our situations and uplift us in the music, right? Do you see that the world is demanding emotional and affecting messages in the music? Especially for us at the bottom of the world. Especially for us at the bottom of the world. Music that suits the soul. The other thing I want you to be aware of, and from other comments that I read that I didn't include here, remember this is customer feedback. As much as we are fans, as much as we are listeners, these people are also customers, right? The customers are talking as if they are not making music anymore. And that's because the music is not speaking to them anymore. They're not making music for us anymore. And that's because of the musical matrix and the musical cubicle that is in, right? People have given up on the music because the music does not talk to them. It doesn't talk to their situations. It doesn't capture their lives in the music. They can't relate to what the lyrics are saying. They cannot relate to the lyrics or the stories, right, in the music. I told you before, like, he gave the impression that he wants to make music that changes people's lives earlier. And I always held on to that. And I waited for them to start making music like that. But he cannot change people's lives if he doesn't talk to their lives or about their lives in the music. Like, I'm sure there are millions of fans, customers, listeners, people who love music like me who are waiting for him to make music for us at the bottom of the world. Okay? The people are fans. They like him. They like the Trey Songz brand. They do. And this is what they are saying, even though they like the Trey Songz brand, right? They truly enjoy the music. And they have serious emotions because they care. They care about the musician and the music. They have serious emotions. If they didn't care, they would not be leaving comments like this, right? They would not be leaving comments. So the serious emotions they have are about not being able to connect to the music anymore because they want to connect again. And they are making demands for more beautiful music that only Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz can give us. Do you notice that? Do you see that from them? Okay, from the fans, do you see what they're asking for? Dr. Taylor, Dr. Taylor, we are crying, we are crying, we are crying on the internet. We need beautiful music. We need beautiful music. Like, Trey Songz is frustrating, even to me as an OG fan. Because with his type of voice, we want lots of songs that actually speak to our lives with relevant stories, even poetically. The R&B, the old school R&B style songs, soul songs, unconventional sounds, a piano and his voice, that would satisfy our hunger for old school R&B. And he teases us with just a little bit of R&B or soul on some of his projects, even though those genres were made for a voice like his. And he is a great storyteller in his music, because you hear it on the mixtapes and some of the albums, but we don't get that anymore. We don't get that anymore. Like, there were much harsher comments because people feel so passionately about the music that they make. People like the Trey Songz brand. They like him. They like the musician. But it's confusion and stuff, right? And there were harsher comments, but I didn't include those. People are really angry and upset with him. And they stopped being fans because of the frustration and the confusion in the music, right? And he doesn't want to sing to us. That's the problem. That's also the problem, okay? You know, when people say there's back and forth with the music, that means people are in confusion, right? They are in confusion here. And I would not be doing this if I didn't see him as the example. If I didn't believe that they could give us more exceptional music, I wouldn't be doing this. I don't need the tears. I don't need the stress. Okay? So as a fan, I too am experiencing confusion with my artist. As someone who loves music, there is confusion in the music. As someone who sees him as the example, there is confusion in what the music is now. As someone who knows what his voice can do, I have confusion about why we're not hearing him sing. As a listener, there is confusion that I'm experiencing in terms of what he's saying in the music, right? There is confusion with how to engage with the music because the quantity of music is too much and it's repetitive, so it feels overwhelming, right? There is confusion because the listener focus is not the primary focus of the music, so I can't receive it as a listener. I can only receive it as entertainment, right? The confusion. His voice and sound and production is so beautiful, but the lyrics and the message is unrelatable. So there's conflict and confusion with regard to how to engage with the songs, right? Because I can't engage with all elements of the song equally. Mr. Songz had this thing of compassion, so I know he can interact with the burdens of people in the music, which is what the comments are asking for, right? So where is all of that? Why don't we have all this? This is why I'm saying there's so much missing from his music catalog. There's so much missing, right? My artist is releasing projects. He's releasing music and videos and doing features. But I still miss him because I'm looking for him. I still miss him. I'm looking for him in the music, right? Even though he's doing all of this, it feels like he is just not there. And I have to keep going back to the old music to find him, because we can't find him in the music now. Like, maybe some of you are like, why am I still here if the music doesn't appeal to me, and why I'm still engaging with it if it makes me frustrated and stressed and it's making me cry. Why am I still here, right? And the answer is that he got us from the bottom, okay? He brought me here. So I have every right to be here and to request music that changes people's lives. Music that speaks to me in my life, and for his voice to shine more. For Dr. Taylor to give us more beautiful production, right? I have every right to ask this because I've been here for a long time. Okay. I want to recap because I want to see how far we are with the goals, and I also want to give a little summary of what we've talked about so far a little bit, right? So, in the Trigger album, writing from realism worked for us because we were living through him. But this also feels like the last time that we heard from Mr. Songz and that we saw Mr. Songz. The last time that we saw his personality interacting with us, making us feel a part of the music, that was Trigger album, right? The song Top of the World, to us, it's like the last time that we heard from him because it's the last time that he spoke to us in the music, right? Anticipation too. The music and vocals are too beautiful with well-built stories. So I didn't mind the lyrics being realism. It somewhat worked, but I can't relate to it too much and I can't share it, right? The only reason I gave this mixtape a chance is because I saw that the song Top of the World was on the mixtape. So I clicked around to see if there's anything else there that applies to me. And I heard the most beautiful sounds, but the most sexual lyrics, which, no sir, no. If Top of the World was not here, I would not have listened to Anticipation 2 because I know he would not be talking to us because they write from realism. Okay, so writing from realism somewhat worked on Anticipation 2 because the sounds and the voice was beautiful. Tremaine the album. Realism would have worked. It would have worked for those few songs I mentioned, but we should have massively shifted to the listener focus and actually talk to us, right? Tremaine the album is where he seemed to have lost us, including the features. He lost us on the features too, right? I think the Tank feature 7 years ago and It's a Vibe was 7 years ago, and that was the last feature I actually listened to and I was excited for, and it was disappointing because it was repetitive lyrics, right? Repetitive themes and messages, and he wasn't saying anything on the songs. This is when we knew he's not making music for us and he doesn't want to use his voice. He wants to be just like everybody else when he has such a rare voice and musicality. Right? I apologize. I apologize. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, okay? The problems are just future possibilities, right? And I'm fighting for their musical future. And I'm fighting for their business to expand because it's not right the way it is now, okay? I am from the Strugg life, okay? His music is the only thing we have to be excited about. So I expect quality music videos and I expect quality lyrics. Lyrics where our artist actually speaks to us and uplifts us. Even when he does features, I expect, talking to us, uplifting us. Tremaine, I still think Tremaine the album is more prestigious and serious of an album title. This is where I thought we'd get more serious with the music and we'd have music for people like us, for us at the bottom. Music that changes people's lives and changes our atmospheres. So I thought we'd be getting those kinds of sounds on the Tremaine album, okay? Let's see how far we are with the goals. Goal number 1 was to explore Mr. Songz and Dr. Taylor's musicality. We've explored their musicality and found that their musicality is too great and complex, which creates confusion for the listener and adds to the problem of goal 2 and 3. Okay? So, Mr. Song's voice is very complex to understand, and I've never heard anything like this before. Both of their musicality is also too complex to understand, and I've also never seen anything like this before. They are also not people who go with the status quo of music, the normal way of doing things. They just don't do that, right? And we're not going to start now, and we don't need them to, all right? So goal 2 and 3 was to figure out why I can't connect to the music recently. That was goal 2. Goal 3 was to figure out why the world is not hearing or requesting their exceptional musical abilities, but only I do. Remember, if the world cannot see or hear Mr. Songz, they cannot buy from him. If they're not familiar with the Trey Songz brand, if they don't see it or hear it, they cannot buy from it, right? Okay. So goal 2 and 3 can be explained by the fact that the quantity of music they give us is too great. But recently, they are in the musical cubicle, they are in this musical matrix, they are suspended and staying in this musical cubicle, in this musical matrix. Okay? So we have very limited themes and it's not listener focused. It can also be explained by the fact that there seems to be no clear strategy for the albums, right? And projects too sometimes. There seems to be a lack of connection to the listener and only catering to a limited group of people with the music, right? The lyric writing is limited and we have repetitive themes and messages. There is lack of relatability to the audience and the OG fans who want to hear more substantial lyrics and messages from them. Okay? So yes, the quantity of music is great, but there is so much missing for an R&B singer, right? There are things that I expected them to have by now, and it's just not there. It's like we only scratched the surface here. We need so much more from them. We only scratched the surface of their musicality. There is so much more that we need from them, right? I cannot connect to the music, and the world cannot hear Mr. Song's voice and Dr. Taylor's magnificent music production because of the musical cubicle and musical matrix we're in now, right? Now I need to get them out of this musical cubicle. I need to get them out of this musical matrix because I am their biggest cheerleader and I want them to be more legendary and take over the world with the music that they create, right? I would not be investing my time and effort if I didn't know that they are extremely bright and intelligent and they can understand what I'm saying, right? I wouldn't go to these lengths if I didn't believe a change could come from them. That is what I'm saying, right? They are not ignorant. So there's an opportunity to get more music from them now, okay? Music that speaks to us. And I'm fighting. I am fighting not just for myself, but for music that will transcend generations, right? For music that will speak to people at the bottom. I'm not asking for the impossible. Everything I'm asking for, they've done before, and I proved it, right? I proved it. I proved they are exceptionally bright. I proved they go between genres easily. They can write in multiple genres according to multiple themes. They are well able to give us what we want to hear, right? I'm asking for them to care about giving us quality, meaningful, innovative music again, right? So to accommodate their musicality, the next video will focus on the solutions that I came up with that can work for us all while taking into consideration their musicality as well. All right? I'm not being greedy. Okay, I'm not being greedy. I accommodated for their musicality also. Okay, okay.